I feel like I need to start by offering a prayer to the internet gods and all supportive energies, just inviting the supportive power so that this message that I have today truly gets delivered to the people who are meant to hear it, who are ready to hear it. And these are the ones who are here for great impact, great vision, great power, great love, great success. And this truly is for the highest benefit for all. This is who I want to hear this transmission. This is who I want to be touched by the energy that I want to bring forward. I want to paint the vision of possibilities. I want to bridge the gap between something so deeply sacred that we carry so intimately within our hearts and something so mundane, so real that requires our active physical engagement with life. I want to be the bridge, generally in my work. I really see that I'm the bridge between the mundane and the sacred. So I want to bridge that for us here. And I need help with my connection because I'm in my new place and we still don't have the proper internet. But I'm using the mobile data, so may it all work perfectly. Please send vibes. So thank you so much for being here. We are speaking about power, and we are also speaking about how erotic expansion is so essential for our power on high levels of power, on high levels of vision, on high levels of possibilities for us as humans. This is where we connect with erotic energy as well. But let me start from the start. So, take a breath with me. The conversation about power doesn't leave anyone indifferent because we all know that we are meant to step into our power. Let me know who is here with me live now and also watching the replay. Who of you know that you are here to really unlock your highest, deepest power? You know that you are meant to do it. It's so unquestionable within you. And oftentimes you notice that this is so clear. This is so clear on the inside of you that sometimes you even are scared of it. And the fear is so hidden, and it manifests as self-sabotage or a sense of being stuck at a certain ceiling, as if you've reached a certain level of power, a certain level of expansion, a certain level of wealth, a certain level of depth, a certain level of love, and then as if you've capped yourself there. And all your memories of kind of big, expansive experiences in your life are somewhere in the past, but not something that is something that you're breathing and living currently in your life. So there is an amazing link that I would love to explore with you as well. The link between our power and all the self-sabotaging behaviors and all the patterns of dissociation, overeating, or just keeping ourselves capped. And I am using the word very selectively because this is my deep belief and deep experience of life that any time in my life when I feel stuck, when something is not flowing, it's because I made it so. And every single time when I start to feel, ooh, the energy is flowing, it's because I made it so. So can we come to the same page with that? Like from the start, that we are the ones who create our reality. My whole body of work that I've developed over the last 11 years, this year I celebrated my 11th anniversary of being a transformational facilitator, spiritual mentor. All these years, that's what I've been cultivating in this body of work, that we are the ones responsible for our highest destiny. Our highest destiny is not something that is there in the stars. It's something that we are choosing for ourselves. It's something that we are stepping into. And an inherent way for this step into the supreme destiny is this recognition that I am the one who is creating it all. it, all of it, all of it, all of it, all of it, and the stuckness as well. And in fact, all the sabotage, all the dissociation, whatever tools we have to cope with intensity are all nothing but a reminder of that power, a reminder of how big is that power that cannot wait to be unleashed from inside of you, that even we create all those mechanisms just not to go there, just not to touch. Because we know that when we go there fully, everything will change. Everything will change, and there will be no place to hide, and there will be no one outside of yourself to give responsibility to. This is power. When you really truly do not have anyone to blame, anyone to say, it's because of them. This is an unfortunate situation, it happened because this person did this and that to me. None of it has space. You claim your power. So how do we block the flow, and why? So why? It's because we are scared. And how? How can it manifest? So it's simply like, there are situations in life when, like I see in my life now, I've moved now to my new beautiful place. I'm so happy here. And still, there are certain things that need to come in place. There are certain repairs I need to have done in the house. I need to organize the decoration and the furniture. I need support. I need help with certain things. I need to take care of some other areas of my life. I need to, there's lots of things in that are in motion, and sometimes there's just a sense that nothing is getting done. Just nothing is happening. I'm also studying Portuguese very intensively right now, and then I just have so much on my plate, and then somehow I don't feel like my progress in Portuguese is amazing as I would like it to be. I don't feel like the things in the house are happening at the speed that I want it to be. And the people that I'm calling into my life are not coming in at the speed that I want. So there's a certain stuckness. And then what do I do about this stuckness? I may just say because circumstances are like this, because this person is like that, da. Or I can lean into my experience of the moment and just see what will happen. What am I scared of unlocking if I lean into this experience? If I give myself into this moment? If I give myself to my unease and my discomfort with what will unlock once I truly make this house like I want it to be, once I truly start to be fluent in my Portuguese and get ready for my exam and get ready for applying for my citizenship and things like this, what will truly happen then? Well, it's a new level of life. It's a new level of reality. And a part of me is scared of it. Because it's unknown, because I don't know how it will be. And a part of me is scared. So, what do? I get to recognize how my fear is blocking it. What exactly am I scared of? And like this, the flow gets activated. And what helps tremendously with that, and you may probably relate, what areas of your life where you feel there's a certain stuckness? How is it in terms of wealth, for example, in your life? Wealth is oftentimes an area where people feel like, I'd love more flow. I'd love to have more clients coming in. I'd love more ease to come in. Or maybe flow in a relationship, or in having a fun and juicy time with your beloved, or attracting a partner that actually feels like the right fit for you, or going forward and creating the family you'd love to create. And so connect with where in your life do you feel like there is a stuckness. No matter how big or small, just connect, I know. So do we have that? Do we have something like this that feels tangible? You're like, here, I know. And then please acknowledge, what are you giving responsibility for it to currently? Are you saying that, it's because all the good men are taken, for example, all the good women are taken already? Do you give those kind of excuses to yourself? Or, there is economic crisis or something like this, or there is a fall of the industry of which you are a part of. Do you give those kind of excuses? Or can you just be with the discomfort? Like, okay, there is a stuckness. I want it to be different. I want there to be a flow which is currently not present. So can we just hold that for a moment? Breath helps. Water helps as well. So inviting you to take some breaths and sips of water. Okay, so we have that. We have, let me know in the comments, do we have that situation that you feel like, okay, I want to work with it, I want to bring the flow in there. So if you do, then there is an opportunity to pour some life into it. To not be avoiding it, but go into it and pour life into it. You pour life into it by bringing your attention to it, by bringing your care into it. So you bring your care into it and you're like, okay, let me own it. Let me expand my energetic field to hold it. And now we are coming to the theme. Holding bigger energy. Holding bigger expansion. Okay, where are you resisting your next level? What will happen to you if you really open this up? If this was really flowing, like suddenly, like now in 5 minutes, someone is calling you, there's an invitation, there is an offer, there is something is like boom, boom, boom. What will happen to you? Will you be able to like hold it and go with it? Or will you get a little bit unstable? Be honest. Okay, be honest. Will you get a little bit unstable? Suddenly someone is calling you and they're like, hey, we're gonna transfer $5 million on your account right now. What's gonna happen? You're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if my limits will allow it. I don't know if it's okay. Or someone is calling you like, hey, I have a perfect partner for you. Like, this is the person, this is the woman that I know, like she's been waiting for someone like you. Like, here you go, like come on, meet her. Like, are you ready for it? Or a man is coming. You're like, oh my gosh, oh. Or suddenly your partner that you've been with for the last 20 years is like coming and it's like all hot and it's like, hey, we're gonna go on this amazing adventure. I prepared this for you. What's gonna happen? Okay, panic, right? Nervous system is like already, what does it tell us? Or maybe you will go into like, and you're not gonna tell me this right now, but you may go into social media and start to zone off. Like, they are waiting for your answer, or there's something cooking in your life, and you just go into social media. Or you go and you get some cake, get some chips, or Netflix, or something to cope with the intensity. Yeah, and it feels like, no, of course, it's the dream, it's my dream, I want to have it. But honestly, are you ready? Are you ready? And maybe not. Yeah, and most likely not. And most likely you are resisting it. And most likely you're pushing it away. And so we get to get honest about that. And just acknowledge, like, okay, yeah, I'm not ready. I'm not welcoming it. Okay, now we have an honest space here. We have an honest playground. Now we can build. Now we have something to work with. We can build from here. What can we build? Well, we can build by saying, I am okay no matter what. I am held in the divine love no matter what. Because what oftentimes happens is that when we feel like, okay, there's a next level, and all of this is subconscious, by the way, right? It's not, these are not your conscious thoughts, but on the level of the subconscious mind, that's what's going on. And we get to go into like, okay, this is challenging. I am feeling shaken. I am feeling insecure, but I profoundly love and accept myself. And I take myself into this place of the sacred. And this is what is so, so big in my work, that I invite my clients to come home to themselves, to find the divinity within yourself, not some external kind of thing, but something that's inherently yours, inherently within yourself, this inherent sense of home. So you can come here anytime. It's here for you. just underneath this nervousness, underneath this anxiety, underneath this, well, but I have to do something, but I cannot just sit still. Underneath that, like right here, there is a sense of home. There is this place of stillness that can hold all of you. And you don't have to be perfect. And you don't have to be polished. But it holds all of you, and it never goes away. This is the place of your home. So you get to come here and then go like, okay, it's okay. I am here. And then you check with yourself, like, do I really want this expansion? Do I really want this bigness? Is it true, or is it just a mental idea? Because sometimes there are just those mental ideas, and they are also beautiful ideas, but they are not like deeply integrated, and you simply resist them because they're just so on the level of mind. So let's bring them into the body. Let yourself feel it. Don't just think about it. On and on and on. Let yourself feel it. This bigness, this success that you want, this visibility that you desire, this love beyond your dreams that you desire. Like, can you let yourself actually be cracked open by this? Or will you just go around and around and around? Maybe it falls into my lap one day if I'll be lucky. It's time to take that responsibility. Walk the talk. Don't just say, yeah, I'm not going to be a victim. These words don't mean anything. Your behavior means everything. So here, you keep bringing yourself to this place. I am so calm. I am okay. I am good. I got myself. And then you let yourself feel. You let yourself feel the energy that you actually want to have in your life. And what helps tremendously here, now we are speaking specifically about expanding your capacity to hold power. What helps more than anything else is work on the erotic embodiment. This is such a huge piece of my work, precisely because I know that there is nothing that takes us into our power with such majesty like work on our erotic embodiment. Partnered with the work on the psyche, partnered with the work on undoing the beliefs, undoing the patterns, understanding why we are looping into those things and into that stuckness, why we cannot break free, because it keeps hijacking us into our wounds from childhood or from even past lives. So this is important to acknowledge the mind, because we are so intellectual. I know for myself, my mind is so strong. I cannot just pretend I don't have a mind, or I am beyond the mind. The mind is here, and I love my mind. But I need to be constantly training my mind so that it does not rule my life, but actually it becomes a support in my life, not a ruler. So it supports my heart, it supports my body, it supports what truly is important to me. So we work on those levels with the level of the psyche, with the level of the subconscious mind, of everything that's going on there, but also with the body and the eroticism, the erotic body. Why? You may have heard me say that again and again. Sexual energy is the raw energy of life, the very original energy. And erotic includes the sexual, but it's actually much bigger. It's not just like what you think about when you hear erotic embodiment. Well, if you've been in my field for a while, then you will know. But if you're new, then you may imagine orgies, people, I don't know, rubbing their genitals or something like this, and nothing could be further from truth. Erotic is actually a state of life, of aliveness. The biggest feedback I get from everyone I work with is that they say they feel so alive. They had no idea it's possible to feel so much pleasure just in day-to-day life. And you maybe have come to a place in your life where you realize that your success is not only about the fact of success, whatever it means to you, but also what matters is how you get to that success. And you actually can come into tremendous success from a place of being nourished, from a place of well-being, And you let this sense of well-being be a part of your success. To me, whatever we do, if we are not being brought closer and closer to the divine, there's no point in doing that. And when you are living in that union with the divine, in that place of home within yourself, you also live in that erotic openness to life. You see, it's like, it's not some kind of disconnected, distant home somewhere in the clouds, but it's right here in this embrace with life. And so many of us have experiences of feeling not belonging, or experiences of feeling like being an alien, like from a different planet, because it seems like people don't quite speak the same language and don't have quite the same interests. I had that for the longest time in my life, where I felt like I didn't belong anywhere. But it's through the work of erotic embodiment that I started to see that I belong at home, and my home is with me wherever I go. And then how symbolic, is that then actually the home manifests also as the physical surroundings, but you get to feel at home wherever you are. You get to be in such a connection with the trees, with the sun. Like in the mornings I wake up and I open the balcony and I see the sun greeting me, and I'm so happy because I feel the sun is my beloved. We're so close. I feel this warmth of the sun on the inside of me, and it's offered to me, and the sun, this life giver, and we have the bells with that. This is so beautiful. You get to be in this intimate connection with life, with nature. And then also for sunset, I go out on the other side, and then I meet the sun setting, and I'm so grateful for this day that I've lived, and that I've had another opportunity to open my heart more than ever. And every day, yet again and again and again, there's another opportunity. And so we get to be in this erotic openness with life. And in the same way then with our beloveds, of course, they benefit directly, because then there is a sense of like there are no more walls. There's no more inherent expectation that they will do wrong to us. And so many people live in that state, expecting that something bad is going to happen to you, expecting that you're going to be hurt because you have been. And it's on us to undo those knots and to come into this place of loving life, loving love, being the loving love. And that we do through this work on erotic expansion. And also, we enter into so much power through this work of erotic expansion. It works in 3 phases. First phase is about releasing. It's around releasing shame, and you won't believe it, but I can guarantee that you have shame in your system, because for me, even after having been in the field of sacred sexuality and having it as main piece of my work for many, many years, I've discovered that I carry shame still, and it can be very subtle. But as we become more and more subtle, and our relationship with the divine becomes more and more subtle, our relationship with life, with each other becomes more and more refined and subtle, then we also discover more and more subtle levels of shame. And what is shame saying? Shame is saying that somehow I am wrong, somehow my existence is not right, somehow I'm not worthy. So if you have a sense of unworthiness in you, which most people do, because if we really don't have a sense of unworthiness, then we will have everything in the world. The reason that we don't have something we desire and we don't have this abundant flow that we desire is only because there is a sense of shame and unworthiness. You know, it's one and the same. Shame and unworthiness, they are together always, coupled. So that's the first level. There's so much releasing, and normally this releasing is so mind-blowing to people. Such big breakthroughs happen, but I always say, this is just the beginning. This is just like, we're just scratching the surface, but usually this is so big because there is so much repression, so much disconnection from the body. We spend so much time in our heads because the whole modern life designed, so it takes us into our heads, thinking, working, talking, all in the head. The energy goes up in the head, out of the body. So then coming into that there's like incredible things happening, you know. I've helped people in such incredible breakthroughs in my in-person immersions, especially because those immersions are the most direct way for us to work together. Being in the physical proximity, this is how Tantra has been transmitted since the beginning of time. So there is such incredible transmission of love, and so quickly things get untangled. And so in those immersions, my Sundari Mystery immersions, I've held people in these like complete like shattering of everything they've taken themselves to be, and still this is just the first step. This is just the beginning. Yes, you release everything that is untrue, everything that you've taken yourself to be. You release that and you come into truth. But no, it's not so directly like, okay, you release and then that's the work. No, this is just the first step. The second step is actually the activation process. The activation happens on so many levels. It happens on the level of the body, it happens on the level of the emotions, it happens on the level of the mind, it happens on the level of the spirit. So much activation. So it's like an instrument. It's like you're fine-tuning your instrument with the highest accessible vibration. Because usually our instrument, our body is impacted by all the things we believe in, all the subconscious programming, all the vibrational frequencies that we learn to dance with, but not usually the highest accessible vibration. So in the activation process, we tune into the highest accessible vibration, and this is then changes your instrument. It actually, like the way the body looks changes, the way your energy comes across changes, the magnetism starts to become active because your vibrational frequency became different, and then suddenly you become visible. You know, people who vibrate in this activated frequency, they are impossible to miss in the crowd. They are so magnetic. They are so vibrant. There is this radiance that is just from within, the real beauty, not just the, some polished look, but the real beauty that shines from within. Someone's asking if it can be done through visualization. Visualization usually remains at the level of the mind, and also affirmations and lots of tools like that. A lot of people just kind of go into it from a very mental perspective, and what I find works so much more powerfully is when we actually do the activation at the level of the body. That it's not so much in the mind, because the mind is anyway so busy, but it actually happens at the level of the body, and then it moves to the level of the energy, emotions, mind, and spirituality. And then the third step is, and so how we do the activation is through practices, through processes that bridge those gaps within ourselves. And it's profound. It's profound. It's something that you just have to experience. It's really hard to explain what exactly happens in practices, but it's like the missing bits of you coming home, because we have this thing of like the missing parts of us, the missing parts of our soul that didn't quite come here to incarnate on this plane of existence. And so we are bringing that purity that we are, that magnificence that we are bringing it back home, and it resonates. It responds to that highest vibration when we actually vibrate in a way that we're meant to be vibrating, because we are emanating frequency all the time with what we are feeling, with what we are thinking, with what we are eating, with what we are talking about, with how we treat our body, with how we are connected to our body. We emanate a frequency, and then the soul needs a specific frequency to come here. And sometimes we are pushing the soul away, we're pushing her away, we're not welcoming her because there is a closing. So this opening has to take place, something has to be undone on the inside. And then the third step is still, it's not all. The first step is the release, which is usually such a big shebang for so many people. Not everything. Second, the activation, also so amazing, so important, and yet also not everything, because then there comes the third step, and this is a sanctification of erotic energy. And sanctification means that we actually make it that which it has always been. We are making it sacred again. We are bringing it back to the divine, and hence divine Eros. Yeah, it's the title of my upcoming immersion, my retreat. Divine Eros, it's together. It's together. It's not divine somewhere there, Eros somewhere down there, and there's this big gap. It's actually together. And in remembering the sacredness of our sexuality, we're remembering the sacredness of our life, and we're remembering our limitlessness. You know, I love all the work with psychology, all the work with undoing the patterns, all the work of this on the subconscious mind. It's like so interesting, and I can get so into it because I'm a very good teacher. I'm very good at explaining things because that's how my mind works. My mind needs to understand things. So I'm very good at explaining this and like putting all the things together. But then what is much more fascinating, and what I am much even better at, is plugging us into the limitlessness that we are. And this is a synonym to divinity for me. Yeah, limitlessness. Your divine nature is limitless. You are a walking infinity right now. Not at some distant time and future, not when you've accomplished this and that, not even once you've done these steps. You are that now. We just have to remember. We just have to undo the fluff and remember that which we've always been, this limitlessness. And this is where the actual flow happens. This is where the actual unlocking is taking place. This is where life actually begins. And it is so beautiful, so full of beauty, so full of bliss, so full of magic. You know, sometimes I'm really having this distinct experience of how almost I'm postponing it sometimes. It's like I know how blissful it is to live life in union, in this limitlessness. And yet sometimes, as if I am teasing myself, as if I am in this game of just like savoring this sense of distance and letting myself experience the stuckness. As long as I'm here in this human body, we may as well, you know, play the human game stuff. But it takes so much courage to cut the rope and be free, to cut the conditioning, to just drop the locking, the holding, the fear, the sabotage, the dissociation, all the mountains that we've built for ourselves. It takes so much courage to just drop all of that and say, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, and I am the infinity, and I merge with the infinity. And this is where the greatest power is unlocked. Because the greatest power is not even personal. The greatest power is the power of the divine. The greatest power is the power of the supreme. And we tap into it when we stop resisting it. When we are just like, I'm here. Take me. By the way, if there is someone who you feel like needs to hear this, please invite them into this live. There's a way to invite people. Or if you're watching the replay, please tag person. So it does take a second to cut the cord, but we have to prepare the right conditions for it to happen, because sometimes we need to somehow complete things. To go through the stages and things like this, and that's cool. But actually the choice is just a moment. It's just a... And so for those who know they are here to make tremendous impact, for those who know they want to open to this power, who know that like there's no time to waste, because life is now, infinity is now, is not in some point in future once you've ticked all the boxes, once you've accomplished all the to-do list, all the items on your to-do list, and all of this is done. Like, it's now. And in fact, humanity really needs it now, because if we can speak on this level, and if you understand what I'm talking about, it means like there is a certain yearning in your soul. It means there is a certain readiness in your soul, and you get to say yes to it. So that's my invitation for you. And I have my retreat, Divine Eros, that I talked about. It's coming. We're already beginning the prep work in 2 weeks exactly. Next Wednesday, in 2 weeks, in 2 Wednesdays, we begin the prep work. And in this prep work, we are going to be building the community, and we are going to be preparing the work on the level of for the work in the temple, because it's very intense. We're together in this condensed environment for a week, all day, every day, from morning to evening. We are immersed in the field of practice. We are doing the knots in the field of activation, in the field of tapping into the highest frequency, the highest accessible vibration, and also the sanctification, the divine eros, the coming together of the holy and the dense, the physical, the body. So if you know you want to be in this medicine, in this profound field of magic and miracles, because that's what we witness there. People come home to themselves. There is a sense of activation of the innermost truth, innermost beauty. This is what happens in these retreats. I've seen tremendous healing take place, tremendous remembrance, tremendous coming home, a state of union, this union of this, like, I am here, I am whole, I am good. This state of pleasure, the state of well-being that expands. And it's so beautiful to just disconnect from everything in your life and give yourself this time to immerse, to forget everything. I also invite people to unplug, to remove their devices and just focus on the most precious thing you will ever have in your life, the one that was there when you were born, and the only one who will be there when you're gonna die, yourself. The most precious thing you have in your life, the most precious investment you will ever make is the investment in yourself. So Divine Eros is such a space, and we're also in beautiful nature in Portugal, in a place that actually even made me move to Portugal, because it's there by the ocean. It's so magnificent there. This place feels like another home to me. I have run so many retreats there, and this year is 9 years since I'm running retreats, 11 years since I'm doing my work in this capacity, and 9 years since I'm running immersive retreats, anywhere from 1 week to 3 weeks. This work has become so fine-tuned. It's so unique, it's so exquisite. There is nothing like it on the planet. And what we are also doing, to prepare for this magnificent transformation that is taking place inside the temple during the immersions, we are doing this month-long preparation work so that you come, and also I relate sometimes to those experiences of you come and there's all those people who you don't know, and it's also the subject is so intense and it's so edgy, maybe, divine eros, maybe what will happen there. So, you need to know that it's actually not as whatever you imagine. You actually cannot imagine what happens there, so you can just drop those ideas. And what we are doing is we are building the community. So you come and you already come as friends, and you come and you will know everyone, and you will feel so connected and so at home. So now is the best time to join. We have just some few spots left. We are very actively calling in men. We do have some spots for women, but we are actively inviting men, magnificent human beings inside. Many of the women, especially who are on the inside, have done very, very deep work with me for many months now. So people who are on the inside are people who've done a lot of work, a lot of inner work on themselves, and they are ready for miracles in their life. They are ready for holding whole new level of power, whole new level of energy. They are ready for highest accessible vibration in their life. So I desire that for us. For me, this is the best place to be, the best place to hang out. And welcome to join. We have the application open right now. You can apply. There's a link in my bio, and you can find the details there, and you can apply there. And then my team will get back to you and let you know the feedback on your application. So, would love to dance this cosmic dance with you if this is our time. You also get 2 bonus tickets to Ecstatic Remembrance, which is my 3-day event, which is coming in November. So you also get 2 tickets to that, and you will have a VIP sitting there as well if you join Divine Eros. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope this has been beneficial to you. Please let me know in the comments what touched you, what impacted you, and if I get to see you during Divine Eros, I cannot wait. And so much love.